So we're already in like the last few bits of Congress. Congress is the last thing that we're gonna really be talking about, kids. And then it's really just going to be you could study for the most part until the. So I just want to go over filibuster a little bit more, just so that you have more information about it. So first, what is a filibuster?
Action that delays
Sorry?
action that delays a bill for in order to debate.
That delays?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it does stall a bill from being passed. And it was created from a rule that was actually removed by Aaron Burr. Now this name should be familiar to you, children.
Aaron Burr, sir.
Sure. Who is Aaron Burr? Or I guess who was Aaron Burr? Is he dead? What did he do? Very famously.
He killed.
Tragically.
He killed.
Yes, in the duel
Alexander
between him and Hamilton, he is the one who, killed Alexander Hamilton. That's it. So he created this. Well, not he did it, but there was a rule, but he removed it. It was called the previous question, which ended debate on a particular subject. And they didn't want anything to stall bills from being passed, because that kind of goes against their job, which is the reason why Aaron Burr removed it. But it came back. It was established, the cloture rule. What's the cloture rule? What does it do to a filibuster?
Cancel it out.
Yes, it stops it, right? So the cloture rule was established by President Wilson in 1917. This is the whole 2/3 vote, right? That is needed to end a filibuster. And 2/3 is what percentage?
70. Oh, 66. 66.
Yeah, right, it's 67%, right, rounded and everything. Okay, yes, ha ha ha. So it is the 2/3 vote, and that's the one that they established, and they've had for a very long time. Until in 1975, where they wanted to make it that much easier to end a filibuster, it was lowered to a 3/5 vote, which is 60 votes, okay? And again, it used to be 67, and it went down to 60 because they wanted to make it easier for them to just end the filibuster. Now, the filibuster isn't necessarily something that a lot of people are fans of because, again, it stalls bills from being passed. But there are certain bills that you do want to stall because they're either racist, discriminatory, or they do something wrong. So they do a filibuster. However, if the majority of the Senate is a certain party, they're able to just stop that and pass the bill anyway. So this congressional supermajority didn't really align with what the framers had intended because of the two houses, which is the one that can debate?
The House.
The Senate, right? Because the Senate only has how many people in it? 100, right? As opposed to the House, which has how many? 435, right? And it does go down, up and down based off of population, but usually it is 435. That's the number. So you don't want 435 people debating. You really don't, because it just takes forever. However, in the Senate, it's a lot easier for them to debate because it's only 100 people, which is still a lot. But with this, what it does is if they do want to debate, or they do want to stall, or they do want to do something. However, if only 60 of the senators don't want to do that, they just vote. And so they take away the power of debate, which is kind of the whole purpose of the Senate. And they use this quite a lot, unfortunately. ends up happening is that a minority group of senators have power over the majority. Because even if quite a lot of them want to debate, quite a lot of them want to do this, this group is able to just get people together and stop that from happening. And obviously that is not fair, that is not the whole point of the Senate. The Senate was supposed to be the deliberative body of Congress. However, if they keep doing this, they just take away the whole point of the Senate. Especially, much like in representation, small states have the same voting power as states many times their states. So a senator from Wyoming has more power than a senator from California, because they are usually a part of the group that wants to stop the filibuster. So this then obviously goes against what the framers wanted with the Senate about representation and about the power of each state. Now, it also leads to something called the ambiguity of positions. What's ambiguity?
Not clear.
Yeah, not clear, not really sure where they stand. So senators can say that they support a bill that the majority of their constituents like, all the while knowing that it's never going to be getting the votes that it needs. So then you cannot really trust your senators, because although they say that they support what their constituents are saying, truthfully they know it's never gonna pass. And so they don't tell their constituents, hey, I don't think this is gonna pass. Also, I'm pretty sure that my party is not going to vote for it. They don't tell them that. Instead, they're like, oh yeah, don't worry about it, it's gonna pass, I'm totally gonna support it. And then when it actually comes to it, they don't. And then it doesn't get the votes that it needs to actually pass. And so the constituents keep kind of losing and the senators keep winning, because they get the power, they get the campaign, and they just keep doing the same thing, and people do not vote them out because of gerrymandering and redistricting. So, senators do not even really need the cloture vote anymore, honestly. It's not even a thing anymore. They don't even have to say, all right, let's vote for cloture, and they actually have to go through the vote. They just have the 60, and they're like, all right, the 60 say no, and they just keep going. So whoever is trying to stop a bill from happening, they don't even have a chance to present their bill or to debate the bill. They just shut them down completely, and they move on from it. So it's essentially impossible, and this is the reason why a lot of people get very frustrated with Congress, because we're like, okay, the Democrats are in power, but they're not doing anything. It's because of this. They literally can't do anything, right? Because they keep getting shut down. It keeps happening over and over and over again. So even though they try, because they don't have the majority, they cannot get it. Bless you. Okay. Right, and another thing that a lot of people in Congress do is something called attaching riders. So a rider is an additional provision added to a bill or another measure under the consideration by a legislator. So Usually, they don't actually have any type of connection with the bill that is being passed. They, most of the time, don't ever have a connection with them. So if the bill is about the environment, the rider could be something about like domestic violence, which has something to do with the environment. But they kind of hide it within the big environmental bill. So just kind of imagine, I don't know if people still do this, I don't think they should because it's quite dangerous, but it's kind of like if a skateboarder hitches a ride with a truck, they like just grab on and then they just keep going and the truck helps them along because obviously the truck has a lot more power. That is what attaching a rider is, okay? The truck is the big bill and the skateboarder is the rider that is attached to it so that it can pass quite quickly. So the reason why riders are created is because that particular rider is controversial. Maybe not a lot of people want to pass it, they don't want it to actually get through the votes. So what they do is they hide it amongst the bigger bill that they know everyone is going to vote for. And because not everyone looks through the entire bill, they just pass it. And so by passing it, they also pass the rider. So it's kind of like a sneaky way of them putting in things that are not gonna pass on their own. So most of the time, unfortunately, Congress members use this particular loophole to further their own interests. And sometimes those interests are not so great, but sometimes they are. And I'm gonna be giving you two examples of when it actually works for the benefit of the people. Because now I'm gonna give you some good news for a change. It's usually a lot of not so great stuff that Congress members are doing. The following you don't have to write down, these just examples. So, there was this Appropriations Act in 1996. So it was just like a very boring kind of appropriations bill. No one read about it, they were gonna pass it anyway. And so this senator attached a rider that disqualified any individual accused of domestic violence of owning a weapon. And it passed without a debate. If she had put it forward by itself, she knew that a lot of people would have gone against it because of the NRA. What's the NRA? Guns. Pew. The group, the national, another name for a gun, other than R, Yes, yeah. So it's the National Rifle Association, right? The NRA. So they have quite a lot of money and they give a lot of money to people so that they do not mess with the Second Amendment and people owning guns. She knew that they were not going to agree with this, even though they have been accused of domestic violence and they should not have weapons. She knew that they were not gonna agree with it. However, because she put it within this one, it passed. So she hid it within this very, very boring bill that she knew was gonna pass. And the other one, 2002, I know you all you kids get Amber Alerts. This was a bill that was very widely supported, obviously. So Biden, yes, that Biden, he attached a rider, which was this one, Illicit Drug Anti-Proliferation Act, which was when a lot of people were doing drugs in the club. I'm pretty sure people still do drugs in the club, but it made it so that it was a lot harder. He had introduced it before as the RAVE Act, and it had not passed, but he attached it to the Amber Act, and obviously everyone wanted to pass the Amber Act, so it passed without it. So these two are examples of senators attaching stuff, like a rider, to a very big bill that they know is gonna pass, and no one really looks at it, because no one wanted to look at the Amber Act. They knew it was gonna pass anyway. So that is attaching writers. Those are the end of the notes. Okay, first group leaders, go and go to the attendees. Alrighty, buddy. A what? Second period. You need a brain break. What to do? Yeah, exactly. Friendship. Right, name day period, children. Oh, I shouldn't?
What?
Alright kids, read and annotate this, both sides, and then in 15 minutes, I'm gonna tell you the next part of the assignment. Can I borrow?
Miss, man, please. Pork barrel legislation. Or safety. Miss, what do you think I'm so hard about?
Your final.
Miss, you like this.
I know, Miss. Please
That's
keep your
what
eyes
I'm
on
talking of, that's what I'm thinking about.
You deceived us.
The certificate was that help us for the FRQ too.
I mean, it's not because it is going to be based off of what we've done in the past.
So it's gonna be one of the goals.
Okay. Miss, this pump still need to cancel?
No, it's happening.
Really?
Who read that rumor? Who? You?
What?
I didn't even know.
That's the first time I had heard it when you mentioned it.
Really? Everyone was talking about it.
Leadership over.
Everybody was just saying like that. We would have to get juniors to go.
Oh, a senior told me that it was gonna be canceled. I was like, what the hell? Prom is never canceled.
Cause they canceled the
I
spring
did.
dance.
You did?
It was in Long Beach. And
Over there.
where is your prom?
Mama Bella.
Oh, it's the same place as last year?
I think we're going that place.
No, they used to go around. We had a view of the beach, it was very pretty. It was really pretty, it was really nice.
We have a real golf course.
You do?
With a bunch of rich people.
I saw the kids have their prom at the Dodger Stadium.
Oh, I would hate that, oh. Not even that pretty.
It is.
I like the one where they go to the Peterson.
The
The
Peterson?
car in Hollywood.
You like cars? Oh, you do like cars, you wanna be a racer car engineer, or design. I don't know.
That would be nice. Take a picture of that. He's good, I know.
Okay.
Instead of a golf course. It's terrible. Like I just saw.
It's like nice.
I think it was like around 10 minutes. There's still a guy playing there.
Oh, yeah,
This is a long.
they take it very seriously. What's the theme? Just Hollywood? Or like 1920s Hollywood? Hollywood? Hollywood?
Yeah.
That's cool.
What was your theme?
A Night Under the Stars.
There's an idea that.
That's when you guys wore black.
No, I wear burgundy.
Really?
Arrow.
Miss, what's the line item?
Line item veto. It's the one that was denied, to Clinton.
But it
You
says
can cancel
earmark.
a specific thing in the bill, right?
There you go.
earmark.
Earmark
It says
is,
earmark is a line item.
earmark is when they get specific budgetary stuff for their projects.
Like a program.
Yes, or like a infrastructure project. So if they want specific money for a project of their own,
You have to raise money, or they get money.
they get money, and so they earmark it. Kinda like what you shouldn't do to books, instead of a bookmark.
Oh, I remember you said that.
Yeah.
It's like the ear.
Yeah, but they don't do it to ear, they do it to page.
Yeah, but it's like the ears. I mean, the page of the ear.
Yeah.
I do that, miss.
No, you don't.
Yeah, dude.
No, you don't. You wouldn't do that.
I would literally do that. Miss, I'm pretty sure I've done that in the dictionary down here.
Because some people don't want to hear words.
Miss, what was the first government, Greece or Rome?
Great.
It was Greece, bro.
Miss, I don't even, bro, Julian, name every single government type, bro.
Government type?
There's dictatorship,
Oh, oligarchy,
what the?
theocracy.
Oligarchy is. Stop.
I didn't write that one.
Miss, oligarchy is like the religious one.
No,
No.
that's a different one.
Oligarchy.
That's the opposite.
Oligarchy is the one where it's like only like two run it, or so it's like small. It's a small.
The group of people
Oh my
who
gosh.
run it, yes.
Right?
I don't remember the definition.
I don't remember shit.
Miss, there's also
Autocracy, monarchy,
autocracy. What the
democracy.
hell is autocracy?
Autocracy, that's the one that you were talking about, no? The religion?
No.
That's theocracy.
Yeah,
Oh,
theocracy.
it's theological.
Theocratic, bro. Theological.
It's theology, bro, theology.
I know, bro.
Theology.
It's in the word, bro.
Wait, what about,
What's-
philocracy?
Philocracy.
Like philosophy?
That's not a real thing.
Like a government based off of philosophy?
There is actually a government that's based off of that.
It's not the word though.
It is a word.
Philocracy is not a word.
Philocracy, bro.
Should I Google it?
Search. That's the dumbest word I've ever
Philocracy,
heard.
bro, I was there.
You were there when they did philocracy?
Yeah, it's in Cambodia.
It's not philocracy.
It's not.
It's like
It's philosopocracy.
Jiggle philosophy, bro. Jiggle philosophy? What the hell is that, bro?
Miss, what's the one you said with the O? Autocracy?
Calligraphy,
Oh yeah, what is that?
you just,
No, the other one, there was another one. Oh, autocracy.
that's what they, it's AU.
Oh, oh. One person?
It's when the ruling class is like the noble
Oh.
class, the autocrat.
The noble, the king, the rich class.
I should be.
Oh, really?
Hmm?
I should. You said no.
To get 50%.
I could take for the questions for the test.
Oh.
You can get it. What do you think you said?
You so bad.
I should be on.
What? You don't remember about the nobles though?
Oh, I know about the nobles, the poor people.
The poor people. The commoners.
No,
commoners. You're talking about the Shays Rebellion. Shays Rebellion.
Oh, let's see your.
That's when the farmers attacked,
Give them a
because they were done.
Bro, that was so stupid, bro. Like, just kill them, bro. Just kill them. Just like, because they had farmers, they had shotguns. Like, bro, just end
Did
their
not
life.
have shotguns. Those weren't even a thing.
Oh, they had like pitchforks and.
They did have pitchforks.
They had rifles and muskets, though.
They had muskets.
Oh, rifles are like.
Rifles were not so.
Rifles like that's the equivalent. The
What?
rifle back then was like a bazooka now. Stop. It was like, if you
No,
had a
yeah.
rifle, bro, you were dangerous.
Like, stop, 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 stop. That's very dangerous. They could only fire like one shot, and then they had to like reload.
We all have a problem.
Bro, even like the
Hold on, you did, I'm like, I don't know what you're gonna do.
who do you think would win?
No.
George Washington's army back then when they had the American Revolution, or like gangster people, like people from the hood?
Okay. Do they have like
No, they
weapons?
don't. They have the weapons. Okay, George Washington, they have their era of weapons, and the people from the hood have their era of weapons.
Okay, yes. Like the new weapons, obviously.
No,
But like, aren't they like disorganized a little bit?
I don't care how disorganized they are. They're able to fire more than one bullet. like no, like they're no, definitely.
Okay, what if it was George Washington's army and the hood, but they have today's era of weapons?
Both sides?
Yeah.
Oh, Washington.
But they don't even know how to
They don't know how to
use
work the weapon.
They'll figure it out.
It's not hard. You point and shoot. Like I'm
There's-
sure
but
if they can
it's
fire a
automatic.
musket,
There's recoil.
there's more recoil in the musket than there is in
Yeah,
the
Boom! They probably bought the shell there.